Hey guys, so hopefully this is going to be a quick reading because I've got stuff to do. Because I had a Four of Swords day yesterday and didn't get very much done at all. So I'm doing this reading today because I saw specifically these two cards. Now this is from the Vice Versa Tarot. So I'm going to have to shut my window because there's construction noises and they're a little bit too noisy. I've had this happen a few times where they've shown me a tarot card. Normally, it tends to be something quite significant. So the first time that I remember them showing me very specific tarot cards, right like this in front of my mind's eye. When I say they, I don't know where I get these images and messages from. It's projected into my head. It doesn't feel like it's coming from within me. It's different to when I visualize something actively or when I dream. It's very much like something being put in front of my mind's eyes. It's different, and it's hard to understand that if it's not something that happens to you. So when I say they, I don't know who they is. And it's not like a craziness either, because the first time this happened to me, or the time that it most significantly happened to me, I saw the Tower card and the Death card from this deck very, very clearly in front of my mind's eye. I actually did a reading on it. I talked about it in the reading, and then later that day, we found out that a family member had passed away unexpectedly. So the Tower moment talks about something very unexpected, and the Death card can talk about death or generally things that are ending. So yeah, I think there's something to it. It's not me just being crazy. It's not coincidence. It's always something. So yeah. So today I've got the Tower card and the Devil card. The Tower moment, something unexpected, something unpredictable. I'm getting Green Day. It did actually just play for me this morning as I was kind of like going about my business. Good riddance. Something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you've had the time of your life. I don't know what this is. So something unexpected. Could be anything. It may feel like you've got the rug pulled out from underneath your feet. And the Devil card here, but the Devil has turned his back. So the Tower moment can also talk about light bulb moments, sudden realization, suddenly seeing the truth. There's like an eye up here, right? So it's like sudden clarity, sudden seeing the truth, which is confirmed to me by this Ace of Swords card here. The sword is raised, so it could be like an aha moment, a light bulb moment. Somebody could communicate something to you and you are like, oh my goodness, I'm so shocked, I didn't see this coming. But it's clarity. The Ace of Swords for me talks about clarity, especially in combination with the Tower moment. So getting clarity, it may come as a bit of a shock. It may feel like the rug's pulled out from underneath your feet, but I feel like you're breaking some sort of toxic cycle here. Now, the Devil card can talk about anything that you feel chained to. So it can talk about addictions, whether that's addictions to smoking, to alcohol, addicted to work, sex addiction. It can also talk about things that you feel very tied to in terms of like obsession. So if you're like obsessively thinking about something, obsessively doing something, repeating some sort of toxic pattern of behavior, this is also what the Devil can speak of. Now, you can see that these cards are actually two-sided. So I'm getting almost, with this, it's either like someone's had a moment of clarity, a light bulb moment where they've recognized some sort of addictive behavior in themselves or addictive pattern or toxic cycle, and they've just got clarity on it now. And it's almost like it feels to me like defeating the devil. Like the devil's turned his back, right? He's given up on you. He wanted you in his class, but he's realized that you are too strong. You're going to defeat the devil, is the way it's coming through for me today. So it could also be, just to kind of say, this is Scorpionic energy and this is Capricorn energy, so I don't know if that's significant to anyone in any way, shape or form, but it doesn't have to be. It's just the energy of the cards. So this is definitely speaking to me today, and I think it's important to open up, and I think it's important to communicate our feelings and talk about our experiences, because I think it enables others to do so. This is something that I'm learning because I tend to be quite guarded about my emotions. I tend to be, I'm an only child. I've got a huge amount of air energy in my chart. So I tend to be like, oh, I'm feeling something, I need to go away and analyze this. Can everybody just give me some space? I'm just going to go to my room and have a think about what's going on here. So this energy is very, very familiar to me. I don't like to be in my emotions. I've actually got a huge amount of emotional energy going on in my chart now. So I have literally I have one water placement in my chart, and it's my north node, and the north node is what you need to embrace. It's what you need to move towards. So emotions for me are like, ooh, emotions, sticky, I don't like them. I need to analyze this. Why am I feeling this way? I'm quite stoic with my emotions. But at the moment I've got 5 aspects in my chart, which is, if you go and look at your birth chart, which I hope everybody is doing this week because I've been doing those Mars readings, if you go and look at your birth chart and go and look at your horoscope, it's all free on that site. As the planets kind of move around your chart, they kind of come into like different patterns. So you can get squares, you can get conjunctions, you can get trines, which is like a triangle. So there's different, I think. So it's all to do with like the angles that different planets within your chart and the different positions of your chart make with each other. Yeah, I've got 5 aspects with the moon at the moment. So the moon is all this watery, emotional energy. So I'm going through a horrible, yucky emotional phase that I don't like. And it's like all the major planets as well. So I've got Mercury, Venus, Mars, Neptune, and the moon. I've got an aspect, my moon position with the moon. So I've got moon. So yeah, it explains why I'm so emotional at the moment. And I hate it. And I can't wait for the planets to shift and I can get out of this phase. But because I'm an air sign, now I am talking about myself. So the reason why I'm talking about myself so much is because I'm trying to talk about my own experiences so that other people have the opportunity to relate. And if it's not something that you relate to at this time, that's absolutely fine. It's just not your reading. Other people may be going through a similar thing. So it's helpful when you're going through something to hear other people going through a similar thing. So it might not be the exact same situation, but you may process emotions in a similar way to me. So this is why I'm doing this reading. So I hope it's helpful to somebody. So yeah, in this horrible emotional watery energy, which I absolutely hate, because to me it gets me in this 4 of Swords energy. Now there's different cards that can represent this kind of this need to be quite in a place of solitude, kind of taking yourself off social media, taking yourself out of social groups, not really wanting to talk to people, kind of finding noise irritating, all this kind of stuff. People deal with it in different ways. Now, the 4 of Swords for me talks about dealing with emotions, but doing that kind of mental process of kind of thinking things through. Like, okay, I'm feeling this. Why do I feel this? Why am I so emotional? Why is this thing making me cry? So it's kind of, you can see this kind of king. He's taking himself off into his throne room. He's kind of doing that thinking, and it could be like regrets about something that didn't work out, or it could be a number of things. It could be something that's going on that you're finding it difficult to process. For me, it's to do with family members who have been talking to me about their health, and it's got me quite worried. So yeah, really kind of, when you just find yourself crying, like a song will come on and you'll be crying, or you'll just, something will trigger it and you just can't help it. So this to me talks about, it's a very necessary card. It's actually a positive card because it's about healing and processing. So it's kind of an essential thing for everybody to have these moments at some parts in their life. So if you're going through something that's difficult, if something's upset you, if something's been disappointing, the need to kind of have that bit of solitude, that bit of time, that bit of peace, maybe having a couple of days off work to just get in bed and have a good cry and get it out of your system. In fact, one of the songs that came through was 4 Non-Blondes. What's it called? What's Going On by 4 Non-Blondes. And she says, and I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out, what's in my head. So it's important. It's processing. It's healthy to do this. It's not like, oh, you should get up and do your day-to-day. It's like, make time to do this. It's healthy. Because it's better to let the emotions flow, to cry it all out, to process it. What does she say again? To get it all out, what's in my head. So yeah, get it all out, write it out on a piece of paper, process those thoughts, play music, whatever you need to do to process these feelings and these thoughts, to get them out, to work through them. It's healthy, it's good. Now, if you need to do this for a day, fine. If you need to do this for a week, fine. If you need to do this for a month, okay. If it goes on longer than that, you may need to go and get some support, go and speak to a doctor, speak to friends, because if it goes on too long, then you kind of getting that the devil's coming back, right? You're getting stuck in that. So yeah, if it goes on too long and you just can't shake it, do go and get support, speak to a counsellor, whatever you need to do. But I'd say for, you know, a day, a couple of days, a week, it's perfectly normal to be in this energy, and to go in and out of it as well, right? You know, you maybe have one day a week where you just stay in bed, but the rest of the week you kind of get on with your job, you kind of do all the tasks that you need to do, and then it's like, right, it's Sunday, I'm just spending the day in bed again. However it works for you, okay? Now, the reason why I'm saying make sure it doesn't go on too long is because if you flip this card over, you can see that the king's kind of neglecting his responsibilities here. You can see that his kind of his city is kind of burning behind him. His country, his realm is burning, and he's not even paying attention. He's too busy with his own thoughts. So do make sure that you poke your head up out of that water from time to time, that you open your door and kind of check out what's going on around you, because you don't want to be neglecting your kingdom, right? You don't want to be neglecting your responsibilities, and allowing things to be destroyed, you know, while you're doing that processing. So it's all about balance at the end of the day. Interestingly enough, the devil card is he's become, you know, the kind of Christian devil over time on the tarot card, but actually he's I think he's called like Baphomet, and he's actually a god of balance. He's like this goat god of balance. I don't really know a huge amount about him, but I was kind of like looking up the meaning of the card this morning. So he's not the traditional devil on this card. He's somebody who talks. If you want to look at it this way, he's an energy who helps us to find balance in our lives, to know that a little bit of what's bad for you won't hurt you, but too much of what's bad for you is when this card kind of comes into play. So yeah, if he shows up in the reading, he's reminding you to find that balance. So a little bit of a message there for somebody. What I'm seeing happening here as well for somebody is the song that was in my head. So I saw these two cards like this way round, just to kind of show you the reverse of the Tower card. So the Tower card to me sometimes talks about having the realization early enough to do something about it. So it's kind of like you know, the rats that flee the sinking ship, the rats that flee Titanic. It's like, do you want to get out of this situation early, or are you going to be kicked out of the situation? Like, are you going to walk, or are you going to be fired? You know, these kind of things. But there is this Dove of Peace as well on this card, which is interesting to me because that came out in my last Tell Me Anything reading. So yeah, are you going to take a leap of faith, or are you going to be destroyed by the tower? Like what's your choice, kind of thing is the way. Also, this kind of talks to me about the Chariot card. These are kind of the Sphinx off the Chariot card, which talk about moving, making a move. So yeah, it kind of, are you going to jump, or are you going to be pushed, perhaps, is coming through here. So the song that came through in my head as I was seeing these two cards was One Day or Un Dia, Una Dia by Dua Lipa and some other people. I'll put it in the link in the description box down below. You know, you've got me tied up. So this talks to me about the devil card. If for some of you, it can be like a love addiction, you know, a relationship that didn't work out. Perhaps there's loose ends that didn't get tied up. So you've got perhaps a bit of obsessive thinking about this past relationship. You know, why didn't it work out? What went wrong? It may have got you into your head. You may be doing this processing. One day you'll love me again. One day you'll love me for sure. One day you'll wake up feeling what I'm feeling, and baby, knock on my door. Could be something like that for some of you. I've got songs like A Cup of Coffee by Garbage as well, which talks about a breakup. Just a Dream by Zella Day. So for some of you, you could definitely be dealing with a breakup, or just a relationship that didn't work out and the feelings around that. I also saw, at the same time as seeing the two cards and getting the song, I saw a woman. She had bobbed blonde hair. It's funny you've got that For Non-Blonde song, but she kind of looked like Lady Gaga to me. So very, very icy blonde bob. with a fringe, but she was kind of side profile, so sort of like here on the screen was her face facing this way, and the background was kind of like blue. It kind of looked a bit techie, but she kind of had sunglasses on, but it was like the sunglasses were actually sunken. It's like the sunglasses were her eyes, and there was like digital numbers and letters on the lenses, and I saw the word F, and then kind of like 2 dashes. So that makes no sense to me whatsoever, but maybe it makes sense to somebody. Now, if you actually go and watch the video, though, to that One Day, Una Dia, with Dua Lipa, the video is a girl who's processing something, probably a breakup, and the video starts with her kind of like being in a bed, really kind of upset, processing, quite depressed, not able to kind of like do anything, and the video, as the video plays through, she starts to process, she starts to get over it, she starts to get up, and then you see her dancing, you see her going outside, you see her smiling, you see her rolling in the grass. So it's talking about this healing energy, which is why this Four of Swords is here. The healing energy of processing. So it's like one day you may not love that same person, but maybe one day you'll be able to love again. You can let love back into your life if you're dealing with this. For me, again, it's more to do with like family health that I'm kind of dealing with, and it kind of, for me, it's kind of processing ancestral wounds. So it's funny, I watched this Secret Shaman Oracle. So Mum, I'm about to talk about you. I don't know how you feel about that, but it's going to happen if you're watching. So I was watching this Secret Shaman Oracle, who's another tarot card reader on YouTube. Really good. Definitely go and check her out. Her Libra reading this week. And some readings are kind of like, that kind of fits, that kind of doesn't. But this reading was one of those where it's like, it's blowing my mind, the stuff that she's saying, because it's like not everything, but there were certain things, and I was like, that is crazy. So for example, she pulled out, she was using crystal cards, and one of the crystal cards was rose quartz, and rose quartz is one of my favorite crystals. Kind of rose quartz and amethyst, I would say, are probably two of my favorite crystals. So she pulled out rose quartz, and I was thinking, it'd be funny if amethyst came out as well. They're kind of the crystals that I have. And she pulled out the amethyst card, and I was like, well, that was weird. And I was in this kind of Four of Swords energy of kind of processing my feelings about my mum and her health. And my mum has smoked all her life, and she has got COPD. She's got a bad cough. And as I was thinking about this, the tarot card reader started to cough. And then she kind of pulled out the devil card and was talking about the need to break addictions, the need to end these kind of toxic cycles. And she mentioned smoking, and then she mentioned cups of coffee. And again, this Cup of Coffee by Garbage song. So I do love my coffee. I do drink a little bit more than I probably should. I try to limit myself to like 4 sachets or whatever a day. I sometimes go over. I don't smoke. But it's just interesting, like, as I was thinking about my mum, she started coughing, and then she did something else. There was something else that she came out with, and it's like I started to predict which card would come out next, and it was just so freaky, like such a weird reading for me. But yeah, the devil card came out, and so for me, what this is talking about is because I got a bit scared. I got a bit scared of thing of people dying in my family. I'm at an age now where my mum's health is not that great. My dad's got a bit of a funny heart. My dad's actually he's outlived his own dad, who had died of a heart attack. So that's scary for me. It's scary for me that my parents are, their health isn't that great. That's a scary thing to face. I'm also an only child, so I don't have the kind of brothers and sisters to kind of, talk to and get that kind of support from. On top of that, my nana, who's the last of my surviving grandparents, she's also very, very ill. She's very old. So it kind of hit me all at once that, the 3 people who are kind of above me in the family tree are all quite unwell. And it scared me to think that I'm going to be at the top of that tree soon. And then I start to think about my responsibilities to my own children and how long am I going to be around. And I want to make sure that I'm around for my own children, and that, I can support them for as long as possible. So then I started to think about my own health. Again, I'm trying to be very open here about my emotions and the things that I'm trying to process, because I think, again, if you're going through something similar, it's helpful to hear other people talking about these things. So, my maternal grandparents, my mother, have smoked like chimneys. I remember being in my granny and granddad's house, and it would be thick with smoke. They'd smoke 20 a day, 60 a day, I don't even know. But they would smoke it a lot, and I would be in their living room and it'd be thick with smoke in the evenings. I grew up in a pub before the smoking ban came into effect, and again, being in these environments that were thick with fog, with smoke, and I had asthma as well, so not the best habit to have, I have to say, mum. And I've given my mum a hard time about smoking over the years, but she's never given up. My dad, I'm sorry again to my mum who's probably watching this, it's probably upsetting for her to hear it, but again, I'm trying to be open. My dad gave up smoking when I was maybe around 11. He just quit. And I had so much respect for him for doing that, and I've told him this. And I think it's really good for me to have had that example of my dad quitting, because it's a good example for me. And I don't smoke. I hate smoking. I hate the smell of smoke. I can't stand it. So I'm happy that is something that's smoking has a terrible impact on people's health. My mum is literally unwell because of how much she's smoked in her life. So I'm really happy that that's one thing that I can tick off the list of something. If you talk about the devil and ancestry, addictive habits and the family tree, that's something I've healed, I hope, in my family tree. I hope my children never smoke, because I don't smoke, their father doesn't smoke. Coffee is not quite so bad, but I definitely need to get on top of that. Not the worst habit to have, right? Alcohol is another big one though. And again, I grew up in a pub. I've had people drinking around me since I was a little girl. My dad drinks too much. He's again trying to get on top of it. He's trying to limit to how many times a week he drinks. He makes and sells cider, so he it's part of his job, cider making, British cider, alcoholic cider, not American apple juice, is part of his job. So yeah, he's trying to get on top of how much he drinks. My mum as well, she drinks. My partner, the Beast, his mother was an alcoholic. So again, there's these ancestral behaviors that are very, very unhealthy, that I don't want to die because I drink too much, I don't want any of these preventable illnesses because I drink too much. And I have drank too much in my life. I'm not an alcoholic, but I have alcohol dependency, I'd put it that way. When I'm stressed, I want to drink. So I'm trying to limit myself to once a week, and I don't always do it. Sometimes, it goes over, but for the past year, I've been doing really, really well. I think just recently I've kind of had a few slip-ups because I'm trying to process and deal with things, but I'm trying to break that habit. But talking about this tower moment and the devil, and the reason why I think I personally saw them was because I in the middle of the night yesterday evening, when I was just in bed, and I just kind of was like, do you know what, I just give up on everything now. I was trying to do this thing where I was in bed and I was allowing myself that time to think and feel and heal and process, but I was still trying to make sure I was on top of things. So I made sure my kids had a bath, I made sure my daughter's hair was brushed before she went to bed, like the basic things I tried to do. I put some washing through and then forgot to get it out the washing machine, because well done me. But while I was in this kind of processing mood yesterday, and I was thinking about my parents drinking and my grandparents smoking and all these kind of things, and I was thinking, I want to be healthy, I don't want to die of a preventable illness, and I think this was kind of the tower moment for me, and the reason why the devil's turned his back, because I was thinking, do you know, I think I might just not drink anymore. I might just try and completely stop drinking, completely. And I was thinking about how I was vegetarian. I was talking about this in a few readings this week. When I first decided to be vegetarian, I found it very hard. I still craved meat. I still sometimes slipped up and had a bit here and a bit there. And I think, it's okay. It's not okay to do that, but it's human to do that. And as long as you don't use it as an excuse to have a complete blowout, then, you're still doing well. So, yeah, it's got easier over time. It's got easier and easier and easier to not eat meat and not be tempted to eat meat over time. So I thought, if I can do it with being a vegetarian, if I can stop eating meat, then I can also stop drinking alcohol. So I think for me, this is why I've seen the Tower card and the Devil card here with his back turned today. But for those of you who are dealing with like a relationship or whatever this is, there's something to do with taking your power back from this devil energy. Really kind of almost getting angry, processing being sad, but then kind of getting angry and being like, having this Tower moment, having this clarity and getting into that good riddance and energy, right? Good riddance. They're telling me good riddance to bad rubbish. So, because then it comes into this Queen of Swords energy. And it's funny because I had these cards out and I was thinking about this Queen of Swords energy, and I was thinking it does feel quite, I mean, I can relate to this reading, so I hope others can too, but it's quite Libran energy, the Libran diamond heart. You can feel the pain, you can have those challenging moments, but at the end of the day you pick yourself back up and you come out fighting. Queen of Swords energy, turning your back on whatever this toxic cycle was, going cold. The Queen of Swords, she withdraws, she speaks her truth, and then she withdraws and she goes cold and she sits in her power and she waits to see what everybody else says. It's very much like, there, I said it, what are you going to do about it? Your turn, right? Your move. So yeah, perhaps you've been communicating, perhaps if this is a relationship, you've been speaking your truth, the other person hasn't, and it's like, right, you know what, I'm done, I'm taking my power back, I've got other things to spend my mental energy on. So I'm seeing this as a really good reading. I'm seeing it as a really positive reading, because I think somebody's had the clarity now. They've done that processing, they've got the clarity, and they could be cold turkey, right? Could be something's getting cut out here, some kind of toxic cycle, toxic pattern. So well done us. But let's see what else the cards have to say. So what else do you want to tell us, please, about this reading, about the Tower and the Devil? The Tower and the Devil. They're still playing one day. I hate that you know you've got me tied up. One day you'll love me again. One day are you dealing with the Medallion Man, maybe? I don't know. The Medallion can talk about a gift, something being gifted. But you've got the Empty Room and the Flame. Yeah, one day you'll love me again. One day you'll love me for sure. That spark's going to be relit, relight my fire. So if you are feeling, and in the way I'm reading this right now, is when we're processing, when we're in, where's it gone? When we're in this energy, it's quite a depressive energy. It's quite a lonely energy. Somebody could be literally in an empty room on their own thinking, what happened? They're showing me visually, I'm not getting the song, but visually they're showing me Sam Smith, Diamonds. My diamonds leave with you. Never gonna hear my heart break. Never gonna, what does he say? My diamonds leave with you. I always knew my diamonds would leave with you. But he's dancing. He's in this empty house and he's dancing. It's so funny that they showed me that. So I'm going to make a note of that song, and that'll be in the description box down below. I definitely recommend. So I'm saying they identify as they, not he. So I'm sorry for that slip up. Sam Smith. Yeah, definitely go and watch their video. It's I think, again, it's this really healthy way of being like, things didn't work out, I'm dealing with it. And being able to dance again. So two things there. Again, we're getting this diamond heart energy, this Libra energy. In the One Day song, Un Dia, and the Sam Smith Diamond song, they both start dancing. So yeah, definitely something there. So yeah, empty room. So the thing about an empty room for me is that it's a blank canvas. It can be anything you want it to be. So if it's a breakup, when that other person's left, it's actually an opportunity to to find somebody who does suit you. So maybe you're analyzing, well, what went wrong, and actually realizing, well, good riddance. I didn't need that person anyway. They weren't right. If they're not going to be with me, if they're not in my life, they are not my person. They're not my soulmate. So I'm going to look for who is my soulmate. And yeah, relighting your fire, refinding your passion. It's almost like get angry and then get back into your own energy. Get angry, get clarity, have that flame relit. And it's like the flame of survival, the flame of I'm not going to let you keep me in this energy. I am going to move on to do you know what? I'm going to find my strength again. Like the devil is not going to defeat me. What did it say in one of those songs? I think I've got it written down somewhere. So Just a Dream by Zella Day. She says, where does the devil hide? He's telling lies to you and taking us down one at a time. Where does the devil hide? He's telling lies to you and I, taking us down one day at a time. So don't let the devil take you down. That's what, if you want to talk about the traditional devil, that's what that energy wants, right? It wants you to be like this. It wants you to be depressed. It wants you to give up. So do you know what, devil? Get out of here. We're rejecting you. You're not going to keep us in this energy. We're going to relight our own fire, and we're going to get angry at the devil because we don't want to be trapped in this energy. We want this, right? So use that anger, that power. Find that power within. I'm proper angry now. I'm like, so this is kind of how I woke up this morning, and it's really healthy. It's really good. I was in this energy, and then I had the clarity, right, of what I needed to do, and I got back into the kind of my own energy, because this again is Libran energy for me, my own energy of I'm not going down without a fight. Do you know what? I'm not going down without a fight. I'm not even going to be in the fight anymore. I am out. I'm in my own kingdom. I've realized my own kingdom's burning, and I've got stuff to do. So I've got to go and do my laundry. Okay, devil, no time for you today. I've got to go and fold washing and put the bins out. I've got stuff to do. So yeah, it's oh my god, it feels so good to be back in my own energy, I have to say. Yeah, so again, I hope people can find this relatable. I hope it makes sense. The empty room. Okay, so this is this energy for me that this is talking about. And again, an empty room, you can make it whatever you want it to be, right? If you want to paint it purple, if you want to paint stars on the sky, you can do that. It's a blank canvas. The vortex, the abyss, the nothing. The empty room haunts us all. It's the universal and all too frequent feeling of lack, of wanting, of the craving to fill ourselves with something, anything. We too often attempt to remedy the discomfort of the empty room by any means necessary, leading us to a culture of more. It's funny, I was singing More, More, More by Madonna the other day. Ironically, the empty room is filled to the brim with potential, yet we perceive it as not enough. This card is a cry for patience, for sitting within the barren walls of not knowing, right? For awaiting true vision and purpose before attaching to what we should do next to save our outward appearance. Be with the nothingness, be with the impatience. So this is telling you, embrace the Four of Swords energy in a healthy way, not in a way that you neglect your responsibilities, but it's a process. It's healthy to process. Be with the nothingness. Be with the impatience. The empty room has immense power. Let others wonder what you're doing. If you can settle into the magic of emptiness, you will soon hear its whisper of wisdom. When light, spaciousness, potential, possibility. When dark, addiction, instability. There you go, addiction. When dark. The devil talking about addiction. I'm keeping it in reverse, by the way, because I think we're over it. Addiction, instability, more for more's sake. Yeah, I'm going to put in More by Madonna because that came through the other day and I was blasting it. Once you have it all, you may find all else. That though things are bliss, there's one thing you miss, and That's more. So yeah, if you could talk about an addiction to consumerism, like it's never enough as well. I was listening to that yesterday. It's never enough, but you're actually realizing that you've been chasing the wrong thing for some of you. Perhaps some of you have been addicted to work, addicted to possessions, to getting the big house, the fancy car, to getting collecting things. You could have a addiction to collecting things. This is saying, when is it going to be enough? It's never going to be enough. You're always going to want more. So you have to break that toxic cycle, and figure out what are you missing. So it could be that you're trying to fill your space, your environment with stuff, with literal stuff. But what's behind that? What's behind that consumerist addiction, right? What is actually missing from your life? So Never Enough talks about, I could have the world, but it'd never be enough because I don't have your love. So are you trying to replace love with possessions? Some of you, could be for somebody there. Addiction, instability, more for more's sake. John Cage's, I'm just writing Never Enough. John Cage's 433. I don't know what that is, so I need to remember to look that up myself. A day of silence is a surefire way to harness the power of the empty room. There you go. That's what I had, and that's what I needed yesterday. A day of silence. I was like so sensitive to like noise, like my kids they were having fun, but they were kind of being silly, and I was like so sensitive to it. I was like, can you just separate and go into different rooms because you're getting giddy? And when kids get giddy, it just ends in drama. So yeah, I kind of separated them. It's like, just go and calm down. Yeah, because I needed that. I needed to protect my energy. I needed to protect that space that I was in, to process, and I have, and I feel better for it now. The archetype of the empty room is also portrayed as the hungry ghost, always feeding and never satisfied. All right, take that as it resonates. Then the flame, though, because here comes the flame to warm things up again, right? This always gives me eternal flame. I can hear it again now. Relight My Fire in Eternal Flame by, who sings that? Eternal, say my name, sun shines through the rain, and a whole life so lonely, and then you come and ease the pain. The fire, the spark, the glimmer. In Sanskrit, the word for fire is Agni. The ancient yogis saw this flame at the center of the abdomen and believed it to be responsible for our vitality. When it is lit, we are connected to our purpose and sense that life is a sacred gift. It is said that those who cannot see the sacred around them have let their inner flame go out. Think of this card as a call to reignite that fire, to cup your hands gently around those things you've forgotten and protect the flame, those things you've forgotten, right? Look. No matter how harshly the winds around you blow, it could be an inner archetype that begs you to light its wick. It is likely that the poet, the mystic, or the shaman would call to you with the language of the flame. When light, health, mental clarity. Oh my God, mental clarity. Good digestion. I don't have that at the moment. Got a bit of a bug. Not too much information. I just feel a bit sickly. When dark, excess heat and anger, complete darkness. Go deeper. The light you give off by Rumi. Gerhard Richter's candle paintings. It's funny as well because I did actually light a candle yesterday. In my room's not empty, it's full of junk. Maybe I need to have a clear out. Laundry that I folded and not put away. Maybe I need to close some space. To enliven the connection with this archetypal energy, practice the candle gazing technique called Trataka. Notice how lighting a single candle in any space brings magic to the room and creates a sense of reverence. The archetypal fire is at the beginning of all transformation, purification, and manifestation. Nearly every spiritual lineage honours the flame. Right, okay. If you notice the stop and start there, it's just because I was approaching the 40-minute mark. So tell me more about the empty room. Tell me more about the empty room, please. Oh, love. Love yourself, healing yourself, finding strength through loving connections, reassessing, prioritizing love. This is actually the Lovers card, and the Lovers card in the tarot used to be called the Choice card. For me, this talks about choosing love, letting everything else go, letting everything else shed, and choosing love in its purest form. So where does the love lie for you? Love lion, I don't know why that came out, but it could be for somebody. So yeah, love lies. Is that Nomani and Khalid? Love lies. Maybe that's something. Love lies. Khalid and Normani. So where does your love lie? Tell me where your love lies. Okay, 6 as well. Is kind of like can be like nostalgia. Right, the flame. Tell me about the flame, please. Why is the flame here? Thank you. The Queen of Earth. Yeah, so I can definitely see how that's me today. So getting into that Queen of Swords energy where I'm like, right, enough, I've made my decision, I've got that mental clarity, I know what I need to do, and then returning to my kingdom and doing my chores. Queen of Earth talks about she really kind of runs her home, she runs her business, she runs her life. I heard like a box of chocolates, and that's not what I was going to say. She runs her life like like a benevolent, loving, nurturing queen. She makes sure the plants are watered. She makes sure the kids are fed. She makes sure the laundry's folded and put away. She makes sure all those kind of daily tasks are done, and she makes time for herself, to nurture herself, to have that self-care, that self-love. So I feel like this is somebody really getting back into ownership energy with these two queens, back into kind of owning their own life, ruling their own kingdom, their own surroundings, kind of getting their life on track in a very kind of maternal, loving way. So you can be a man, however you identify coming to this reading. It's just saying that the queens are more expressive, they're more outwards than the kings in the tarot. The kings tend to be a little bit more guarded. The queens are more communicative, expressive. It's coming through to me as this kind of almost like like she's going to be an empress. The staghorns always talk to me about the emperor card. The emperor or the empress, they're all 4 kings or all 4 queens of the tarot. So the kings have got a lot of life experience. The queens as well, they didn't get to where they are through having an easy life. They've had a lot of challenges, which brings them into a very, very mature energy, a very mature, stable and capable energy. They're not pushovers, they're not childish, they're very, very strong, and it's because they've had a lot of challenges to face. So I feel like whatever that challenge was that's got you into the 4 of Swords energy, whether that's a relationship, whether it's other circumstances, your situation, having the time for self-care, self-love, allowing the emotions to flow, processing them, and coming out of it very, very strong and capable, because you're an emperor or an empress in the making. You know that life gives you challenges so to make you stronger, right, to make you more capable. We're born as children, we don't know how to do things, we don't know how to we don't know how to arrange a funeral. We don't know how to deal with paperwork, with taxes, and all these grown-up things that we learn to deal with throughout our lives. This person's learned, or they're learning. At least they know they've got clarity of thought, communication. They know how to take action. They're very good with things like contracts and legal systems. The Queen of Earth is much more to do with like it can be work, home life, grounded, real, tangible things, right? 10 of Fire there. Letting go of the things that don't serve you. Letting things burn away. It feels like release energy as well. What's underneath there? The 4 of Air. So the 4 of Air is that same card as the king sat in his castle having a think. So yeah, having that time to self-nurture. Finding inner balance there with that 6 of Earth. Right, okay. Can you tell me any characters that we are dealing with at the moment? Can you tell me any energies for any characters we're dealing with? Thank you. Anyone else? That's all that wants to come out. So the tiger in reverse or the tiger in the upright. Which way, please? Yeah, tiger in reverse. Anyone else? Which way does this person want to go? It landed right on my phone screen. Yeah, okay. So this is your energy. I see this is your energy because it's getting that shark there in the underlying. Yeah. I'm getting some stuff about sharks and dolphins, which came through in one of the readings this week, but I don't remember which reading. I know that I'm directed to move towards dolphin energy. So beware of shark energy. That's just a personal thing for me. So it could be loan sharks, I don't know. The owl is getting that higher wisdom, getting that sense of clarity. You could also have somebody around you who is very wise, who has a lot of knowledge, could be quite spiritual, who you can go to get good advice from. But it's almost like this person's kind of not speaking, they're watching. So a very intellectual energy, very almost information gathering energy, information storing energy. Could be you, could be somebody around you. The tiger in reverse, the tiger in the upright is very obsessive. It does have a touch of that devil energy. Some of the aspects of the devil card is obsession, and it can be doing with kind of the wild side, the beast side, the kind of sexual side. So it does have an element of that for me. You can see it's very fiery, very intense. Now, that energy, again, like it's all about balance. So it's brilliant to be in tiger energy sometimes. If you wanted to go for a job, perhaps, and it was there was a lot of competition, you had to prove yourself, it would be brilliant to be in tiger energy where you're so focused on what you want and you are so determined to get it. That is brilliant energy to be in. If you were in the bedroom, it might be good to be in tiger energy. If you were if you were competing in a race, you'd want to be in tiger energy. It's very focused, very determined, quite passionate. It can boil over to obsessiveness and almost aggressive sexuality, so do be wary of that. But it's in the reverse, so I feel like somebody has either broken out of that kind of obsession, or it's they've lost passion for something, or they've lost focus. So just be wary of that. It feels like lost passion for one thing, so you need to relight your fire for something else. Interestingly enough, I don't know why this is coming to me now, and I can't quite remember kind of why it was in my head in the first place, but one of my favourite tarot card readers, Awakening to Spirit, she posted on her social on YouTube this book that she'd been reading about the cheese. I didn't quite understand it, but to me the way it came through was it was always talking about reassessing. So when you're in this period of Four of Swords energy and you're going to come out of this, you're going to have that that shock, that realization. You're going to come out of it with clarity. So this was talking to me with the cheese was talking to me about almost like moving the goalposts. So it's reassessing. So okay, so I wanted this situation, I wanted this thing to work out, or I wanted, I had this set of goals. Maybe with the tiger, it's like I had this set of goals, these things that I wanted to achieve. I've realized now that for some reason the universe is moving me to a different path, so I need to reassess my priorities. I need to reassess my goals here. And the cheese to me talks about temptation, or the thing that you want. So not wanting something anymore, reassessing and getting the flame lit for a different goal is the way this is coming through. What's the new cheese? There's a better, more tasty cheese out there for you. You just need to figure out what that is. So yeah, repurpose, a new sense of purpose is what's coming through with this energy here. Okay, they're not giving me many cards, which is interesting. It's going to be a shorter card pulling session here. So tell me about the empty room and love, please. The empty room and love. Interesting as well. This also talks about a supportive relationship. It could be a friend, a family member. It could be a love interest for you. But it does talk about a sense of support. The woman and the lion are. You wouldn't think that they'd have this relationship, but they do. So an unlikely relationship, an unlikely person supporting you, possibly something like this. But tell me about the empty room in love, please. It's in the reverse, isn't it? The world in reverse. So this talks about the need to close a cycle, the need to learn those big lessons, the need to, again, it just feels like ancestral lessons, right? Closing out, being in this energy of like, the world talks about like this energy. It's like you need to close out this cycle, you need to end something, and then have the clarity on the other side. So yeah, don't get too stuck in toxic cycles. What needs to be ended, what needs to be broken, something needs to be wrapped up and closed out there. Yeah, do you need to replace, are you trying to fill a void, an emotional void, with literal stuff, you know, a shopping addiction, instead of embracing loving relationships? Figuring out why you feel that void, and again, yeah, what you're trying to like replace it with. You may be trying to replace it with the wrong things. So yeah, give me one more card please for that world. Why is the world in reverse? Anything else on the world card? Okay, got quite a bit there. Okay, yeah, so it's in the reverse because it's funny, the devil card came out in the when I was shuffling, preparing the cards, he came out and landed in my hand, and you had the devil card, which was one of the cards that they were showing me, the devil with his back turned. So in the upright, then, this is what we want, right? This is what we want, but it's somebody's not quite there yet. Closure. The world card talks about closure, closing out a cycle, because you get the clarity. So this card's come out, this card and this card are out twice now. Getting closure, closing out the cycle, because you've had clarity, because somebody's spoken the truth, you've spoken your truth, or you've just got this sense of like a fresh start, clarity, knowing. It's just like a light bulb moment, which brings you out of this kind of like almost like depressive state. The judgment card is death and rebirth. It's people coming up out of the graves, out of the coffins, and having this brand new fresh start. So getting out of a cycle where you've had toxic patterns, or you've felt like you're literally at death's door. You felt depressed, you felt like you've had that ending, right? You've had that closure, and then you come out of it like absolutely like into a new cycle in your life. It's like rebirth energy. So it's a very powerful card. You've actually got 3 very, very powerful major arcana. Do you know what, if I look at what cards have come out for you, and again, like, so I pulled these cards out myself because these are the 2 cards that were shown to me, these specific 2 cards, and this was the energy that I was kind of in, and I kind of knew that it was connected. These 2 cards came out through me shuffling, through me asking about the Tower moment. So of the cards that have come out here, you've got very powerful cards. You've got 4 major arcana. So this is closing out a big cycle, a big chapter of your life. Again, I feel like it's closing out ancestral wounding. These 2 very, very strong cards, the love card, and then you've got like 2 character cards, very strong character cards as well. This is somebody absolutely owning it, bossing it, and the 2 cards of clarity. So that is mega energy. Clarity, coming out of it strong, right? And closing out these toxic patterns. We've got, again, Scorpio and Libra again. We've got Capricorn again. This is Sagittarius for me. Swords are any air sign. Earth is any earth sign. This is Gemini. Doesn't have to be any of those signs, but if people want to hear them, that's what they are. So this is what we want, okay? But with everything being the reverse, I feel like it could be that some people are still... It feels like that cycle's almost closed. It's like people know what they have to do, they know what they have to let go of, but perhaps some people are still kind of in the processing phase, you know, not quite ready yet, not quite in this energy, but this is where we're headed. So I'm actually just going to put those away, and I'll show you how I'm doing it, and we'll just see if they do happen to come back out. because I feel like this is part 1, part 2 of the story. You know, phase 1, phase 2, the however many steps of grief that people have. So let's just move these 2 cards. So tell me about the Flame and the Queen of Earth, please. The Flame and the Queen of Earth. Okay, we've got a little bit of secretive energy here. So yeah, here we go. Literally relight my fire. Resparking that passion inside yourself. The Ace of Wands, this is yeah, feeling that passion for life again, feeling like you're ready to face a new day, like you're actually, the Ace of Wands is like actually feeling excited to get out of bed in the morning, actually having like a new project to work on, and you're like, I'm gonna get this done. It's me being like, I'm gonna tidy the house. Maybe I'm not that passionate about it, but it's finding the spark again. And it could be that it's a thing or a person that triggers that for you. Death card. But I feel like something has to be let go of. Something has to be closed out here. There has to be an ending for this to be a new beginning. What's hiding is the Father of Cups. So this could definitely be a love interest for somebody, or it's you coming into, again, a very, very strong, powerful new phase of energy where you're open to expressing your emotions. You are very, very emotionally stable. The King of Cups is, he's the king of love, if you want to put it that way. He's the king of friendships, the king of emotion, the king of caring. He's could be a water sign. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. He's traditionally Scorpio, but I get a lot of Pisces from it. It doesn't have to be. But yeah, this is somebody who is like super supportive, super loving, just an all-round really, really like good person with very healthy emotions. Really nice energy to have. So it could be that you're having a new romantic interest here with somebody who's got very healthy with their emotions. It could be that you are resparking your own life and you're coming into it very emotionally mature, but there is some sort of ending here. Now it can be a literal death, it doesn't have to be. It's more to do with I feel like it's whatever this old cycle is that you're closing out. Can I get another card on that death card? Why is death here? 3 of Cups. Could be ending something. Again, cups can symbolize drinking for me, especially this card, because it talks about getting together with friends, celebrating, having a drink together. So it could be that you're ending a cycle where you drank too much with a certain friend group. It could be that you are celebrating a death. This could be a wake. If somebody has passed over, you know, a get together, people having a drink together, celebrating, you know, a soul tribe because of something that's ended. You could be celebrating the end of a toxic cycle in your life. Hopefully not with alcohol if the toxic cycle involved alcohol, but it could be ending a third party situation for some of you. What's the Ace of Wands? Oh, the Moon. Secrets. We don't know yet. Right, okay. Beware of illusion. But yeah, this emotion, so it's very emotional. Could be secretive. Tell me more about this Father of Cups, the Hermit, and the Son of Swords. So this is Virgo energy. It could be that this person's, look, he's got the fire. He's got the fire. It could be that this person's also done some soul searching, a period of introspection. They've done some healing. The Hermit is kind of like the same energy as this card, but it's like with a big power up. This is like, it's a major soul lesson for this person. It could again be you. Could be you coming out of that Hermit energy. This person's probably quite spiritual. Doesn't have to be religious, but they've done that soul searching. And they could be coming in to communicate with you with the Son of Swords. This is the Knight of Swords. So it could be why you're having, it could be possibly why you're having this this tower moment, this moment of clarity. It could be that this person's done some soul searching. They're coming in to speak their truth to you with this Son of Swords energy, flying in, right? Flying in to communicate. And it's the owl. Oh my God, it's so, again, it could be you with that clarity. It also talks about taking action to cut things out of your life. So you could be literally cutting something out of your life here with this ending, some sort of toxic pattern, you know, whatever that devil energy represents to you, toxic thought processes, obsessions, toxic behaviors, shopping addictions. it could be that you've got the knowledge, you've got the wisdom, so you're taking action to cut something out, you're ending something. Or it could be somebody coming in to tell you about something that they've been dealing with in their life. So watch out for the owl. I wonder who the owl is for you. Right, I guess I'm going to get us an advice card and then close out the reading. I have to say, though, if you're waiting for communication, if you're waiting for, if it's a love interest and they've just not been talking and you're the one who's been doing all the talking and you're like, this person's not communicating with me, I feel like you're the one turning your back. You're like, I know my truth. I'm not going to sit here waiting for you, checking my messages, checking to see if you've rang me. I'm turning my back, I'm going cold. But sometimes when you do that, that's when this other energy can come rushing in. So just be aware of that. I wouldn't sit around waiting for anyone. You've got work to do. You've got laundry to fold. You've got your own kingdom to run. You can't be waiting for other people to deal with their stuff. They'll come in when they come in. Right, okay, let's go. So, can I get the best advice, please, for the people who are resonating with this reading today? Thank you. That's quite a lot of advice, but this was what flipped and went into my hand. So, I guess I'm not going to read any of these cards, but skunk spirit, know your worth. So yeah, know your worth. Don't sit around waiting for people. You've got things to do. You've got your own stuff to run. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Yeah, don't sit here letting your kingdom burn. Don't let that washing pile catch fire because it's been sat there for too long. Dragonfly spirit, truth transcends illusion. So don't be very grounded. Squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. Scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. Moth spirit, surrender now. And bee spirit, sweet results await. So yeah, surrender. If it's a connection, if it's a love interest, surrender it. Go and do your own stuff. Let it go. Let it go. Let it flow. Don't sit there with, maybe that's why the tiger's in reverse. Don't sit there with obsessive thoughts about it, about whatever this situation is. Don't sit there obsessing over it. Do the processing, get the clarity. It feels like getting the clarity of what you need to do. And it's like you can't control other people. So don't sit there waiting for other people to step up to the plate. You've got your own stuff to do. So cut out that devil energy. And it's almost like he's got bored. He's turned his back because you're not playing his game anymore, right? So, yeah. Let's get a song to close out the reading. And then, yeah, I'm going to go and do my tidying and do my housework. Yay! Excited. I'm not. I hate tidying so much. I'm not. This Queen of Earth energy does not come naturally to me. Like, I'm too busy thinking. I've got important thinking to do. I can't be tidying. But yeah, we've got responsibilities. That's what we've got responsibilities, and we need to go and deal with them, right? We can't be crying over spilt milk for too long. Okay, let's go. So best song, what do we need to hear? So the people who are resonating with this reading, what do we really need to hear right now? Best song you can give us, please. I can't get no satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. So yeah, that advert there, I just paused so you didn't catch the advert, but you may have just caught the first bit. So she says, she says a name, I think her name was Anne, and she says, I've got kidney failure. So some of you have got an alcohol problem. That's a big wake-up call, right? You don't want things like that. If things that, sometimes things are inherited, some things just happen, but some things can be avoided. And if we take care of our health, then we're going to live longer, and we're going to live longer and be around for our children longer. So, yeah, but I can't get no satisfaction. I don't know why that's the song, but I'm going to go and listen to it myself. I love the Rolling Stones. Yeah, see what that says to me. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. It was quite personal. Sorry, Mum. And I hope it was helpful to you. If anything particularly resonated and you're happy to share, do let me know in the comments, because I love to hear the feedback. I love to hear how it's helping people and what people resonate with. But if you are quite private, I also understand that you may not wish to do that. If you want to come in as a stealth viewer, you can totally do that as well. What else? Please leave me a like and share with people if you think they need to hear it. And Yeah, thank you to everybody who's been supporting my channel. I'm still amazed with how well that Gemini reading did. So thank you to everybody who liked and shared that reading. It's my most viewed reading now on the channel. So really exciting for me to see the numbers going up on the videos like that. So yeah, do take care and I'll see you again soon. And best of luck. Let's all be our healthiest, best possible versions of ourselves. Let's relight our own fires, find our own passions, go for our own cheeses. All right, do take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.